Now, I've made no comment about the Rust Thor Linux drama that you possibly or probably have read about or seen about. Brody Robertson has done various videos about this that are very good. I think even the Primogen has done videos about it, and there's probably many, many more. And obviously Rust is a very emotive subject in the Linux kernel and in general. People of all sides seem to get very emotional about it. I don't know why. But, you know, it's their precious thing, and on the corollary C is so precious for others, but it's what it is. I make no real comment about it because I'm not a developer and I don't really care about these things. However, I will make a comment about this because all the, let's say, three main parties involved are kind of pathetic and ridiculous, really. And let's just have a little look at, if you're not aware of what happened in the Linux kernel mailing list and in the Rust for Linux drama, let's just quickly have a look at it. So I'm using a Phoronix article here because I can't be bothered to go through the frankly convoluted mailing list. Let's just have the summary. Now, this article here from Phoronix says about the Asahi Linux lead developer Hector Martin stepping down. He's the one who does the Apple for Linux. So if you've got an Apple device, in theory it will work with Linux. He develops the drivers and has Asahi Linux. Well, obviously it's a team of people, but he's the lead developer, right? And he does, I guess it's called Downstream, where he creates drivers and all kinds of things that are initiated after the kernel, but he also works in the kernel itself under a certain condition, let's say, which we'll cover in a minute. So what happened was there was this thing called, was it DRM? DRM, is it? DMA, sorry, DMA. Now, I'm not going to tell you what DMA is. I can't even remember. It's so boring. I don't care. But it's maintained by somebody called, is it Christoph Hellwig, who objected to Rust code, let's say. Let's just put it in simple terms. This is what it basically came down to. Rust code in the kernel. Even though Linus Torvalds had said you can have Rust code in the kernel, Rust has been in the kernel for a couple of years now. But Christoph wanted to make a hill to die on, so he got very upset about this this patch, let's say, that interacted with the DMA that he maintains in the kernel. Why did he get upset then all of a sudden? Well, good question. It seems that he just wanted to make a point. He just wanted to get very upset about this. And so, again, I'll cover this in a bit more specific. Then it became a big argument. Hector Martin, the lead maintainer of Asahi Linux, which uses Rust code, of course, got very upset about this. Linus Torvalds basically didn't step in properly until it was too late. So let's just break this down. Okay, so why all three parties culpable here? Well, you probably got a hint already about is it Christoph Hellwig? I can't remember his name. Anyway, I think it's Christoph Hellwig. Here you go. Yeah, Christoph Hellwig. There you go. I've highlighted it. So here's the absurd thing. He made a point that he did not want Rust code in this patch set. He did not want, or this patch set in the kernel, to have Rust code in it. He doesn't like multi-language code bases. So that's all fine, and you don't have to like Rust code. You don't have to like, multi-code bases. However, what Christoph was working on was C code. That's the general code in the Linux kernel, as I understand it. And he had no interaction with the Rust code. He doesn't have to fix the Rust code. He doesn't have to write Rust code. This has long been established. Greg Curl Hartman, basically the number 2 in the Linux kernel, basically confirmed this. This had long been established. But he wanted a hill to die on. He wanted to get very upset about this, stupidly, pathetically. And then it became a big argument. Okay? So the Hector Martin then chimed in, who, on the face of it, should be, the person who's, doing the right thing here. He was saying there's no problem. You don't have to maintain it. Where was the problem? Well, Hector Martin then decided that he was going to make a big thing on social media about this. He was going to get all upset about certain hurty words and, all these things. Really, it just looked ridiculous. It looked kind of pathetic. He obviously wanted to make it even more personal than it had become. And he just sounded melodramatic about something that just is frustrating, is annoying. But, again, Greg Cole-Hartman had outlined it. Just go with what Greg says. That's it. Doesn't matter what Christoph says. Linus had basically said this before. They have well-working mechanisms. Christoph doesn't like it. That's fine. Okay? So, yes, it's annoying when somebody is trying to be annoying to you. I understand that. But this had already long been established. Then going on, the psychodrama on social media is just pathetic and lame. I feel, it's just ridiculous, really. But whatever. This is what Hector Martin decided to do. Then he got called out on his behaviour by Linus Torvalds, who didn't like that. Linus technically right there. So let's get to Linus Torvalds. So why is he compromised in this? Well, let me just first say, yes, the Linux kernel is an incredible project. I use the Linux kernel. I wouldn't go back to Microsoft. I wouldn't use Apple, whatever. Okay? It's fantastic. But ultimately, it can be replaced. There's, OpenBSD kernel, there's the, BSD kernel and all these things. It just, I don't know. Yes, if you've got a new computer, this is really the thing with Linux kernel nowadays, which is having compatibility with everything. It's great. It's great. This is all of what it's about, really. And yes, you obviously develop new features and all kinds of things. It's literally fantastic. But it's just not the end of the world. It's an incredibly impressive project, but it's not the end of the world. So here's, because, Linus gets... sometimes people don't like his behaviour, and I understand that. But also, he gets lauded for being this, incredible person. In many ways, he is for the Linux kernel. But again, ultimately, if it went away tomorrow, for me, I don't know, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Maybe it would be for a lot of people, but I could deal with it. So anyway, let's get back to why. So why was this a compromising situation for him? Why did he handle it badly? Well, he said all the right things. He said all the right things. He said to Christoph, that basically you don't maintain the Rust code. You're just basically saying you don't like them using your API, which is basically what it was. The DMA, it was this API, and you don't get to decide that. If somebody wants to write Rust code that uses your API, that's it. You don't have to work on it, you don't have to maintain it, you don't have to write it. Okay? That's it. As simple as that. Now, interestingly, Christoph did remove himself as a maintainer of the DMA projects later on. So the thing with Linus here was let's just actually, because I'm not going to read all this stupid stuff out, but look at these first comments. I was hopeful, and I've tried to see if this long thread results in anything constructive, but this seems to be going backwards, or at least not forwards. So why is this such a problem? So this is days after that whole drama, right? That he's decided to say this. This is days after everybody knew the established working procedure with Rust. Why did he just not say this from the beginning? Why do you need to see this long thread? Which makes me suspect that he likes drama. I've always suspected this. He likes the drama. He likes, watching people slug it out. Not sure if he's going to be upset with them or not. The guy is just a walking ambivalence to me. I don't really care about this stuff anyway. Yes, I use the Linux kernel. It's great, but I thought I should comment on the drama, not because I have any great principle for Rust or against it, but these three guys are just, I don't know, I just find this embarrassing behaviour. Yes, I'm sure it's a high pressure environment, but really, it's just, I don't know, do you find that kind of cringe? That behaviour, three adults, just over this. So first of all, you know, you didn't have to deal with the Rust code Christoph. Number 2, Hector Martin, you know, your garbage social media stuff, who cares? Nobody cares. And number 3, Linus Torvalds, you know, you just like the drama, you just want to watch people slug it out and then reiterate what you should have reiterated in the first place, which everybody knew. The only person that sort of comes out good out of this is that Greg Coahart. I don't even know how to say his name, whatever. But, you know, what do you think? Maybe you can put it in the comments section down below. Yeah, so I thought I'd just comment on this in a slightly different way. There you go. I'll put these links in the description if you really want to read through it, and it's got the links to the Linux mailing list so you can read through all that nonsense drama. And obviously don't give these guys a hard time, you know, don't add to this drama, you know, just, it's just what it is. People love this kind of stuff. I really just find it pretty embarrassing, really, but, you know, there you go. Well, I'm talking about it, so they got what they wanted, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we'll leave it there, and you know what you can do, the fake YouTube thing, you can like, comment and subscribe, and so I want to give special thanks to my membership, my Patreons as well, which is the same thing. Now obviously I want to see more of you guys on that, so you know, you can find that in the description, but I want to give special thanks to Sean and to HTX80 Nerd and Soul. So thank you guys very much, I do appreciate your support. And there we go. I will see you in the next one.